going on, guys? Black Scout Survival Late Night Live. Thanks for tuning in. So did you guys hear about the second gay congressional staffer that was filmed having sex in the Capitol building? This is becoming a epidemic. We talked about it the first another day. This actually, I spoke about this a few days ago. The Democrat Senate staffer was not fired for gay sex in the Senate hearing room. He yelled "Free Palestine" at a Jewish congressman, so Mossad leaked the gay sex tape. So it goes to say that Jewish congressman confirms identity of Democrat staffer who yelled "Free Palestine" at him. Representative Max Miller from Ohio confirmed the identity of Democrat staffer who confronted him this week over this support for Israel. Miller, who is Jewish and has expressed strong support for Israel in recent months following Hamas's October 7th terrorist attacks, told the Daily Caller that the staffer was Aiden blah, blah, blah. I can't pronounce his last name. So anyway, who works as a legislative aide for Senator Ben Cardin. So that is the kid that the video came out last week and showed that disgusting scene. And apparently, the second one's has came out, but there's apparently been much more, so, when you fly flat, the LGBT flag on the Capitol building, that pretty much like what 80% of the staff is LGBT. What are you expecting to happen? Anyway, the term conspiracy theorist gets thrown around quite a bit, and we all know that that is a CIA term to discredit people. It literally is. You can Google it if you don't believe me. So Vice has graced us with their opinion pieces that are garbage. Scientists explain why doing your own research leads to believing conspiracies. Research found that people searching misinformation online risk falling into data voids that increase beliefs in conspiracies. No, what a conspiracy is that you do not believe what all of the sheep do, right? Every conspiracy theory comes out to be true. Every single, there's not been one that hasn't. Literally, even Pizzagate, true. What about the Wayfair that has the $25,000 couches? The Etsy, fit $13,000 for this pair of overalls. Yeah, we know all of them are true. All of them are true. Anyway, some pretty serious news is coming from China. Our enemies. We'll be fighting them on the streets of New York here soon. China has halted exporting various rare earth technologies. This is a move set to impact the world. Rare earth metals are obviously very important for a ton of different things, especially our technology, right? Rare consists of various metals that are utilized in the creation of magnets, which convert energy into movement for electric vehicles, medical equipment, wind turbines, and other electronic devices, also military equipment. Yeah. So in an announcement, China's Ministry of Commerce revealed that technologies for producing rare earth metals and magnets are now on prohibited transfer list. China, the primary supplier of these minerals to the world, has cited national security concerns as the reason why. Obviously, they're planning to go to war with us. I just talked about the other day how they're planning, they're pretty much pre-staging a ton of different things. They're hacking all of our infrastructure. They have sent how many freaking operatives to their southern border? We have the biolabs that are popping up everywhere with unlabeled vials of whatever. And then the Chinese police stations, you name it, it's happening. They're buying up all of our food production. They just cut out drones, so they're going to stop export of drones. So, but for over 30 years, China has basically solidified their place as the lead miner and refiner of rare earth metals. And I'm going to pop up some graphs here. This is from 2019, and you see the total production of each different country here. In China, 62%. So a bulk of that, right? They pretty much have a monopoly on this. In most Western processing capacity is actually only for light rare earths, not heavy. So even, Joe Biden has tried to say that, he's attempting to, within the climate policy, to diminish China's control over the supply of these rare earth metals. But the fact of the matter is that we cannot compete on their level. And that's due to freaking something that's been happening for the past 40 years where politicians are in the pockets of China, and moving American manufacturing. They're getting tons of benefits to move there. So here's China dominates the rare earth market, 2021. So you see here, 61%. U.S. is only 15%. So do you even think we have a freaking stake in the game here? We're not going to be competitive with them, especially because the fact is we can't even make some of the ones that we need. This is their strategic magnets dominate China's rare consumption. So the majority of what they do is magnets. They do, ceramics, petrochemicals, polishing, catalyst lighting, all these various other things, but magnets are their primary. And if you know anything about technology, there's tons of magnets in various systems. So this is going to be a huge impact, especially on our weapons manufacturing. But, you got to think about how will this affect us? I would say in advancement, again, our military is going to be quite a bit, hence why they're probably doing it, right? I mean, these folks have been planning this for quite a long time, and we're playing along with it. We're going along with it. But they're setting the stage, or stacking the deck, whatever you want to call it, to defeat us. And nobody cares. We care more about the woke social justice stuff and indoctrinating our soldiers and children to worry about our real enemy and what they're doing. The export bans, everything. There has been some big news in regards to Russia and Ukraine. Vladimir Putin, I guess back in September, had begun talking about that he's ready to begin negotiations for ceasefire in Ukraine. So a few former high-ranking Russian officials close to him and came out and conveyed that they're ready for ceasefire or to freeze hostilities at their current borders. Now, the thing is that it's cold there now, so the fighting is bad. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos on Instagram and such, but it's bad. I mean, it's terrible to fight in that type of environmental conditions anyway. But so they say that we're ready to negotiate a ceasefire. They want to stay where they are now on the battlefield. And what that means is, i.e., we keep this territory we took. So he says that Putin, one of the former officials says that Putin says, really, we're ready to stay where we are. He's not ready to retreat even a meter. That sounds like something Vladimir Putin would said. American officials claim that Vladimir Putin has already made similar proposal, ceasefire in the fall of 2022, when Ukrainian troops liberated territories in a few different regions. But sources said that Putin made it clear that he was ready for a truce if Russia kept captured territories. And this apparently has not been previously reported. This is breaking news that he wants to keep these territories, right? I mean, why would you go through spending all this money fighting, losing men, and then you're just going to give back everything out like nothing happened? Doubtful. So there's really nothing to suggest that Ukraine will agree to this proposal, since Kiev has previously made it clear that it intends to return to all occupied territories. American officials believe that Putin may be trying to mislead them. Former Russian officials admitted that Putin might change his mind if Russian forces secede. From a former Russian presidential press secretary, they've said that there's a conceptual point of view that these theses are presented are incorrect. That when asked whether if Russia's ready for ceasefire, they said that no, we have not changed our minds. We want denazification, so get rid of the Nazis, demilitarization, and neutral status of Ukraine. Said Putin is ready for negotiations, but he wants to claim the land he has and also remain fighting to achieve those goals, i.e. denazification. And they try to say that's not true. That was a conspiracy theory that we saw was true as well. We've seen tons of reels with people with swastikas and such in Ukrainian uniforms. So Putin's proposal would preserve Ukraine as a sovereign state with this capital in Kiev, but Russia would retain almost 20% of the captured Ukrainian territory if this goes through. So this has to terrify the neocons, okay, the Nikki Haley's, the military industrial complex. They don't want a ceasefire. They want World War III, because it's after the Afghanistan withdrawal, the war stopped. So that the money machine stopped for them. So they want it, Now, all this talk comes just after the United States has secured access to 15 finished military bases through a new defense agreement between the countries. Anthony Blinken said that today's just the latest demonstration of the United States' comprehensive effort to bolster transatlantic security. This pact allows exclusive U.S. access to pre-positioned defense material and guarantees unimpeded access to these storage facilities. It also includes provisions for the U.S. aircraft, vehicles, and ships to use Finnish airports and seaports. Now, you see here, it's close to Russia. So that's what they're actually setting up for. They're actually setting up for some World War III right now with this move. Because one of these bases is about 40 miles from Russia. So they're setting up for this. They don't want this war to end. They don't want a freaking ceasefire. But I think Putin doesn't want a World War III because he's not in it for the money. But these neocons are. So, of course, they're going to keep pushing it. Just like they push, you can go back to my videos. They push the Russia invasion. So, following this announcement, obviously, Russia is going to be upset because they were upset about any NATO talk about around their border. So, Russia summoned the Finnish ambassador and warned that it would increase its military presence on the border with Finland. A spokesperson from the Russian government said that the stronger military potential of NATO on our border threatens the security of the Russian Federation and will be followed by a response from the Russian side. Obviously, we know what they're doing. He knows what they're doing. They're setting up for World War III. Meanwhile, China keeps stacking the deck. Are we really doing anything? Now, I know the Marine Corps is. They're pretty much changing their whole structure for a fight in the Pacific. So I don't know. I haven't heard of anything else other than that. But we'll see. I did see this reel 2 days ago, I think it was, or yesterday. I'm going to show it to you. I thought it was great. And this chick here, listen to it.
For bikini season. I run so that in the year 2030, when I'm locked out of my electric car for having a bad social credit score, I can get outside the 15-minute city limits and escape the United Nations robocops that are after me for having a steak after I've reached my CO2 limit.
Funny, right? So she says she runs not to get ready for bikini season so she can escape the 15-minute city. Now, I agree with her. It's one of those things where looking good is just a byproduct of being physically fit, but being physically capable should be your top priority, right? Fight, save someone, whatever it may be. It's always a top priority. And I know this was like a comical reel, and I don't even know if she works out really. She just made it. But what she's saying is true. I mean, the way the world's headed, you only have a few years to get ready for 2030. I think even I'm going to do a video probably next week about it, or maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Christmas Eve may do a video about it. The world is really going to get nasty, I think, within the next year. And so you don't have a lot of time. And truthfully, I think being physically fit is the number one thing. I actually saw one of the subscribers comment this right here. And she's a common subscriber. I don't think she means anything bad by this. She's probably just asking. She said the recent obsession over supplements concerns me. Now, this is the thing, like what you may or may not know about me. It's always been my obsession. It always has. I probably should have started a fitness channel before anything else, because that is really my number one passion. That's what I'm been passionate about for 20 something years. Like, that is my number one. Working out, supplements, because I think it's the most important preparation you can make, right? People join the military. What's the first thing you do? You have to go take a PFT, right? You go be a cop, physical fitness test. What almost everything that requires you shooting a gun or saving people, physical fitness is the number one, right? And the thing is, like, I've tried every fitness method, mode, whatever you want to call it. I've also used every supplement you can think of, right? I know what works and what doesn't. I've tried them all, and I'm a supplement freak. I love supplements, vitamins, you name it. I do all that, nutrition, the whole gamut. So with that, I teamed up with Black Force Supplements for Christmas here for a 2-month survival kit, supplement survival kit here. And so this is a 2-month supplement survival kit, Black Scout edition. Now, this combination of products we're going to talk about it for a minute. This is going to be 2 months supply for 35% off, right? And it comes with turkesterone, which I've been using for quite a long time. And just, I'll show you, like, this is me working out today in the gym. And this is a photo. You know, I'm in my 40s and I'm in the best shape of my life because of these supplements. These things are legit. Anyway, turkesterone, I've talked about it very extensively. It has a lot of research behind it. A lot of people, they say, oh, it's not research. It actually is. And the Russians have been using it for 20, 30 years for their Olympic athletes because it's not on the USADA list or whatever. I don't know what the international one is. The anti-doping agency or whatever, maybe it's anti-doping agency. It's they're trying to get it put on that list. But turkesterone enhances physical strength, right? It makes you stronger. It builds muscle. It's crucial for handling rigorous survival activities, right? That's what you need muscle for. Overall physical resilience. It boosts muscle growth, aids in building lean muscle mass, reduces body fat, helps in optimizing body composition. You want to have good body composition, low fat, more muscle, right? This will give you better agility, endurance in various survival situations. Athletic performance, it improves that. Increased stamina, physical performance. These are things that you want to have in a survival challenge, right? It's something that you're going to be in a challenging situation. Then we have NMN, which is what I call the limitless pill. It's literally the game changer, right? Boosts cellular energy, enhances mitochondrial function for increased energy levels, vital for long-lasting endurance in survival situation. And if you take it, you will know, you will know this junk works, right? You feel it. And down to the micro level, it's anti-aging. It promotes cellular repair, so aids in cellular repair and maintenance, crucial for staying healthy during and within challenging environments, right? Survival situation, you want to have this kind of stuff. And preparing for it, getting in shape, ready for it. You have a year before I think things are just going to be freaking belly up, right? Again, it slows aging process because it slows down aging-related cellular decline, keeping your body and mind sharp and agile. It improved cognitive function. That is one of the biggest things. Like within hours, like when you take it, that was my first thing whenever I took it. Within hours, I noticed improved cognitive function. It supports brain health and cognitive function. This is something that you need for quick thinking and effective decision-making in a survival situation, right? You don't want to have a cloudy mind because when you're tired, you make bad decisions, right? So in a survival situation, let's say you're bugging out, you're freaking humping it for 30 miles. You're tired, you hadn't really eaten. You're not sleeping because, you got to keep one eye open. You want to be able to be quick with that. If I've showed you before my antibiotic kit that I have, the Jase Medical kit that has antibiotics, also put, some of my prescription drugs, painkillers and such, but also keep NMN and Turk in there. I keep it in, like, literally, this is not some promotional thing. This is in my literal survival kit. In my bag, if I'm bugging out, I'm taking Turk and NMN. I'm taking it with me. That junk is in my bug out bag. You've seen it. I think I showed it 6 months ago. I pulled out my kit, and that wasn't even a promotion of Black Force supplements. I was showing my medical kit, and that was in there because that's what I keep in there, because those two things I want to have when shit hits the fan, right? I want to have strength, and I want to have all the benefits of NMN, right? So anyhow, make sure you check out that deal. I'll put the link below. Something we want to do for Christmas. And anyhow, guys, I do appreciate you hanging out with me. And if you're listening to this, you're part of the resistance. And remember to stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous.